Preparing.
Shut up.
Setting it up. Shut up. And we are live. Mr. Gracey, what's going on? Show 64.
64.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up?
Chilling.
Get that out of the way. So, yeah. I mean, things continue to get interesting with, I thought the left was bizarrely quiet. But, and now you got Biden saying, oh, yeah, go ahead. Ukraine, use our long-range missiles to launch into Russia. Let's try to start World War III before we vacate the fucking White House. You got Tony Blinken coming out and said, we're going to send every spare dollar out the door to Ukraine.
Insane.
It's like,
and now
it's like completely counterintuitive, or hawk Democrats, and these people still support them.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking insane.
It seems like that big smile on Biden's face wasn't the welcoming of Trump into the White House, but it was like the backhanded slap. Like, oh,
right. Like, watch what I'm going to do before I leave.
Yeah, man. This is scary times, dude. I mean, Putin saying...
Oh, it's really scary times.
Yeah. And, we're so close to January. When does he take office? January 5th? 7th?
January 20th.
20th?
I'm wondering why Trump doesn't call Zelensky in right now and go, don't fucking send those missiles into Russia, or you're gonna have fucking problems when I get in office.
Well, supposedly, I read something like Trump's not allowed to meet with Zelensky or talk to him before he takes office, which doesn't make sense. I read that briefly. I didn't get to go into the article, but I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why?
So say that again.
That Trump can't speak to Zelensky or meet with him and discuss anything like that until he takes office. Which just seems absurd.
Yeah, but very absurd, especially what's going on.
I guess I kind of get it, right? Because he doesn't have the power to technically do it at this moment. So
why can't you just talk to him?
Right.
Just a conversation.
It's just nuts, man. We're so close to getting everything solved, and then just like so close to this shit going crazy at any second.
Yeah, well, exactly, and that's what they want. You're really seeing a cultural shift. I mean, it's like fucking cool to be Republican again. People doing the Trump dances and fucking the UFC and now the fucking NFL. People are fucking not afraid to say they voted for Trump. It's good. But then on the other hand, you still have the diabolical fucking left pushing out their propaganda and doing whatever they can to undermine him before he gets in office, for sure.
Right. And you would think, like, my God, you couldn't start World War III early or anything, but now you're trying to do it like right before you get out of office. Like, just the pure evilness that goes into that dude. Like, he's on his last leg of life and just clearly doesn't care about
the left is a woke mind virus death cult. It's exactly what they are.
Yeah. It's sad but true at this particular moment.
Yep, but there's still people out there celebrating them, like, yeah, they're great. They're all about intolerance, tolerance for everybody. And we love everybody. We love women, yet we support Muslims and Hamas, and they completely destroy all their women's rights and make them wear full body hijabs and shit. But yeah, they're great. It's like there's no fucking common sense in the world. On the left, that is. It's just wild, man, to watch these people. They're complete fucking hypocrites. And it's just like they see the crazy bad shit that their side is doing, and they just gloss over, like, tribalism. Yeah, I don't care for if we've lost 325,000 kids at the border. Who cares? Fuck it. Trump's bad.
What do we got here, Bobby?
This is about Zelensky seemed to acknowledge the momentum towards talks, saying that U.S. President-elect Donald Trump takes power. War will end sooner, as this was the promise Trump has made to his voters, but it doesn't say anything about him possibly having a talk with him.
Right. Well, that was supposed to
before the Biden administration's decision to permit ATACM missiles to be fired at Russian territory is perhaps a reflection of the growing sense of escalation of war. Yeah, this is just it's crazy. They're just trying to set up a shit show before he gets into
Yep.
office. Yeah.
I can't believe CNN's actually reporting on this correctly
Yeah.
and even giving that
Yeah,
opinion.
it seems like the media is gonna eventually have to start telling the truth because
Yeah, well,
people just are
yes.
starting to wake up to it.
Well,
How
CNN's
long?
shifting their definitely shifting their gears because they have a possibility of getting bought by Elon. MSNBC is going to be on the chopping block.
Mm.
So that could get rid of Joy Reid and fucking what Rachel Maddow. Thank God. Get the
Yeah,
fuck out of here. And then someone needs to buy whatever network fucking The View is on and get rid of those fucking cackling idiots too. I
Definitely.
mean, it's just wild to hear these women talk. They don't live in fucking reality. It's unbelievable.
And they're inciting like discourse and violence with
That's
their
the
rhetoric
that's
on the
been this
view.
whole fucking election cycle. Their side calls us everybody Nazis and fascists, and then tells our side, well, you need to clamp down your rhetoric. Like, shut the fuck up. You're telling your supporters that he's literally Hitler and a fascist, an authoritarian who's going to take away all your rights, and then you don't expect someone to like try to do something crazy, but they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing because they don't care. They just want to
Right.
stay in power however the fuck they can, and they lost their ass, and they should have lost their ass because they had no policies and they had a selected candidate who was a fucking idiot. Sorry.
It's just crazy that they thought they could run on no policies, more
We're
of the
running on
same.
joy.
Yeah. Dude, like how dumb do they think we are? I mean, I was starting to be convinced that America was dumb and we might not fucking wake up from this. And
Well, I mean, you literally have a DEI candidate. You had a DEI vice president, and now you have a DEI candidate who was selected for you, and you're like, okay, great, I'm going to vote for her because they told me to, because she's a woman of color. Like, who fucking cares if she's a woman of color? Is she qualified to do the job? No.
do you think the Dems would have had a shot if they would have allowed a proper primary to come on after Biden dropped out? Or do you think
I don't think they have any other candidate that would even come close, but it wouldn't have been her because no one voted for her. No one
right?
voted for her in her first primary. Nobody. Like she got less than 1% of the vote in the first primary she was in.
Especially if they couldn't flip the script as well as they did, where her going from the worst VP to
Well, if
like
they had a primary, they wouldn't have had time to flip the script. She would have been the same old lame VP that she was and
yeah.
still is. And they wouldn't have had time to build her up into the bullshit that they built her up into, which was ineffective, obviously. But, all the pollsters were like, she's ahead. She's going to win. Da, 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 da. Yeah. This is why I watched Election Time the whole time on YouTube. The guy was fucking spot on the whole time.
You said on YouTube the election coverage. What
Election. It's called
about?
Election Time is the channel. I keep talking about it because the guy was spot fucking on for months running up to the election, and on election day he was spot on, except for he didn't think that Trump was going to win Michigan. That's the only thing he got wrong.
And boom, shakalaka.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the end count? What did he win by? Was it like 5 million votes?
I haven't seen an end popular vote count. I'm not sure.
But it is crazy, man. So no real blue states. It was blue cities. Like if you look at the states,
Oh yeah,
they voted, which is
yeah. California flipped 10 counties fucking red.
Isn't that nuts, man?
It's nuts. I'm proud of it.
People speaking.
I'm proud of it. Thank you, California. Let's get some more. Get your fucking head out of your asses. Go look around in your major cities and go, what policies did this? Oh, yeah, it's the left who has a supermajority in fucking California. Fucking Newsom's going to pass another gas tax here, 65 more additional cents per fucking gallon. The biggest refinery in the country, in the state, is moving out in 2 years. They're fucking done. They're literally just trying to force everybody into fucking electric vehicles, which the grid can't support. I mean,
Right.
it's so fucking asinine. It makes no fucking sense, but they just keep pushing it. And so now 65 more cents per gallon in this. Luckily, Trump's going to come back in the office and take the gas prices down because it allow more drilling in Anwar and all the places that it needs done.
Yep.
So maybe that'll nullify. I'll be paying about the same I'm paying now, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see, man. But that's what they're trying to do, to try to tax it out and make it so. And also, I mean, once they have that to where everybody's on the electric grid to charge, they control that. It's not like, oh, the gas station to charge, powers out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's a scary, scary thought. And you wouldn't think you would have to worry about that in America. But after seeing what the fuck they did during COVID, you're like, no, they would definitely pull that shady, shady.
Definitely. Yes, they sure would. They don't care. They don't care about you. They care about power and their fucking money and their elites. That's all they care about. They don't give a shit about you.
Do they realize that if the world ends, like, where are they going to get us grunts to get their resources for them and pull the gold out of the earth and all that jazz? Like, they're going to be living archaic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't understand the full agenda to it, because it seems like when the world goes into chaos like that, who wins? Even if you have your cushy place in a.
Oh, I think they plan to go into their fucking super bunkers, wherever the fuck they are, and just watch everyone starve.
Right. But I mean, how long does that last for? You know, how long until they have to go out and hunt? How long do they have to grow crops? How long? And they can't do any of that shit.
Well, you say so, but they're a lot of them are billionaires and they have unlimited resources, and I'm sure they can hire somebody to come in their fucking bunker with them that can grow food.
Yeah, I guess. Or they just fucking go back to enslaving people.
Well, the point is they don't give a fuck about your freedom. They don't give a fuck about your rights. They give a fuck about power and money. That's it.
On happier notes, though, Chad, they're starting to make less woke movies. Adam Sandler's doing.
I'm telling you, there's a cultural shift. Everything is fucking shifting. We're going back to old school movies, like you said. It's fucking great that Adam Sandler. I think he keeps pretty quiet, but I suspect he is,
yeah,
on the right side.
I mean, he's filming on Trump's golf course in Bedminster, so that's got to tell you something. At times, so to pick that.
I mean, all the woke shit, all the woke movies fail. Every fucking one fails, and they just keep making them. Disney, for instance, and they just keep failing and failing and failing, and they keep going, oh, well, let's try it this way. Okay.
Well, that's the thing, man. We had the silent majority stand up and vote in America, but they need to stop being so silent and allowing these people that are the minority to be so vocal and get their points across, because it's not working, and they're being loud about shit that shouldn't be loud, and they're promoting shit that shouldn't be promoted. So it's like we need to start to stifle them and figure that out and start killing them with facts and coming back at them, and not just letting them run their mouths the way they are. I'm not saying
it's just funny to watch the left get all pissed off about Elon. Like, they love it. They love Tesla, but then they fucking hate Elon because they hate Elon. They literally hate Elon because he bought Twitter and showed them that they were being lied to. They don't hate the people that were lying to them. They hate the guy that showed them they were being lied to.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't again, doesn't make any fucking sense. There's no logic to it. It's just all based on feelings. Well, they told me to hate Elon because he bought Twitter, and now it's like full of hate speech. Bullshit. It's called free speech. It's full of free speech. It has community, what do they call it? Community notes, where they correct people and stuff. So it's self-censored by the community. If someone sees something wrong, they fucking write community note. This is the way it is. Boom. You don't need you don't need a biased fact checker like Snopes or fucking PolitiFact or whoever the fuck these people are going, no, that's that completely true statement. We're fact checking it because it's out of context. Shut up.
By an independent third party.
Exactly.
No, you're not. Who's paying you? Where's your salary coming from? Because it's not from an independent side. Guaranteed.
It's like every time you get fact checked now, you're telling the truth.
Which is a funny way around. Which is the funny way around that, right? Oh, I'm being fact checked. It must be real.
But you have all these celebrities leaving Twitter now. Oh, it's too much hate speech, and they have the left saying, "Oh, it's what the left has done over the past like 8, 9, 10 years is literally give you disinformation and misinformation that was all lies, right? But now their whole tack now is to say that we can't have free speech on these platforms because there's too much disinformation. No, there's too much real information that you don't like because it doesn't go with your narrative. You censoring pieces of shit.
And just block people, dude. Like, that was the thing back in the day when people listened to Howard Stern. Like, they were listening to him and they hated him at the same time. And they would say, why are you listening? Well, I got to hear what he says next. Change the channel if you hate him. Don't listen to this rhetoric that you don't want to see on this platform That's the beauty
Exactly.
of free speech. You could not look at it. You could go away and go to wherever you want into a
There you
different
go.
chamber.
Except you're trying to make a mass exodus because they want to try to destroy Twitter.
Good luck. Good luck, man.
Richest man in the world. Good luck.
Yeah, they're trying to promote Blue Ski, which is the guy who invented Twitter's like second form of it, and not happening. Nobody's going there. You know, it'll be less popular than Trump's Truth Social, which is actually popular.
I just saw a meme someone put, or maybe it was on Breitbart, but there it said that now all the leftists want to start stocking up on supplies before Biden's out of office and not buy anything for 4 years. So they tanked the Trump economy. I'm like, first of all, there's not enough of you dumbasses to do that. Second of all, you fucking shitheads can't buy that amount of food for 4 years. Good luck trying to do that.
Right.
So it's never going to happen. It's just like the stupid women that are shaving their fucking heads and saying they're going to be celibate for 4 years. Give me a break. Okay, you solved our problem. You're not getting abortions, and we don't want to see you anyway. Thanks.
It's all optics and empty promises. They don't follow through with anything.
Oh, it's just all crybabies, dude. They're literally fucking crybabies. It's like, did you see anybody on the right doing this shit during Biden? I'm going to shave my head and fucking do it. I'm going to not buy anything for 4 years. No, because people on the right aren't fucking crybabies. Okay?
Right.
You take it, you roll with it, you don't like it, but you sit back, you do your job, you go out and live your life, and then fucking get to vote again in 4 years, and look what happened. And now you got the left freaking the fuck out. Who literally films a video of them freaking out, screaming their fucking head off, looks at it, edits it, and then puts it online? What fucking crazy person does that?
Losers.
Exactly.
And with that,
there's some good montages though. It's fucking awesome. I see these like heavy metal set to these people screaming and shit. It's hilarious. It's funny stuff.
And it's forever, people.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, let's bring in today's guest, Mr. Barry Mezey. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hello, sir.
There he is.
Hello.
You hear us, Barry?
I see he's got the video on. He's looking. I don't see audio.
Can you hear us? Hello. We talking?
Hey, Barry. Hello.
Can't hear you.
Turn your mic on. Let me see if I could help you out on my end. It doesn't show anything for audio. Are you using
now he's connecting audio, it says.
There we go.
Here we go. You got to unmute, I think.
Yep. There we go.
How's everybody doing today?
What's up?
How's my favorite rock drummer in the world doing today?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming on. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me, Chad. Thank you, John. So, man, it's been a while since we connected, Chad, and just wanted to say it's a pleasure to be on your podcast, and let's shoot the shit and get down to it.
Bam. Well, let's go. It's great. Like I said, it's great to have you, man. We appreciate you coming on, and
thanks.
Let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about your story, because I told John a little bit, but let's hear it from you.
So. Yes. I grew up with autism spectrum disorder, bipolar, and Tourette's, and I was told my whole life I'd never be anything. I grew up I was born in 79 in December, so I grew up in the 80s and as a little kid, and by the time I got into music, it was all grunge and stuff like that, and my teenage years were very depressing until I discovered your band.
Oh, cool.
And the way I discovered your band was actually I was in high school at 14, and this kid brought Throwing Copper into the classroom, and he asked me if I knew who that was, and I was just fucking with him and saying Nirvana like everybody else would say, and he goes, "That's live, fool!" And it was 2 weeks after Kurt Cobain killed himself. So I have that kid to thank for introducing me to Live's music, because Live saved my life as a teenager and even into adulthood.
Nice.
I told you this before, Chad, that in the private context, but it's like I grew up with the bullied outcast, the kid that everybody said would never be anything, and here I am today. I had a successful up-and-coming sports marketing and celebrity marketing agent career for many years. Now I'm in the blockchain and crypto space, and I have reality TV shows. I'm just enjoying life,
Very cool.
and enjoying the moment, because you never know what tomorrow can bring. I could walk out my front door and in an hour after I get off this podcast, 2 hours after I get this podcast, and I could be run over by a car, or somebody could rob me and shoot me. You never know, especially in this fucking Biden economy.
Yeah, exactly.
Very true. Thank God I'm not in California. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well,
I'm in Florida.
At least I'm in Red Orange County. It's a little bit better, just a little bit.
I know, but
are you in Miami? You're in Miami,
yeah,
right?
I'm in Miami. Yeah.
Well, Miami-Dade went red. That's amazing.
Yeah.
The election.
First time since I think it was since maybe I don't know what the last one was when red for in terms of presidents.
Yeah,
but,
it's been a while.
It's been a while. So yeah, but just enjoying life and in the moment,
Well, it's very cool to hear your story of perseverance, because
Thank you.
I
appreciate that.
That's the American dream. Like, you get beat down by people who are fucking assholes, and then you make something of yourself and go, give those people the finger, tell them to shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Have you been to any high school reunions?
No, I haven't actually. I went to high school in Pennsylvania, of all places. I've actually, when I was a teenager, I saw Ed walking his dog. I think he had a dog, and he was walking his dog down the street in New York, Pennsylvania. I went to the Harley Davidson factory at 17 in New York on a high school field trip in '97. And I think I saw Ed walking his dog down the street. It looked like Ed. So, I mean, it could have been him.
Could have been.
Yeah, but I don't know if he dog or not, but basically, yeah, it was like the spring or summer of '97.
Interesting.
Rock on.
Yeah. So it's like, but man, when I read that you never learned how to read music and you learned how to play the drums, I was like, wow, because I never learned how to read music either, and I play the guitar. So it's like, I never learned. I only learned how to read tablature. So
really,
I had a little bit. I learned how to read some tablature bass. I played saxophone in all the school bands, so I was reading music from that. But I didn't. I was more of I let the whole band play the stuff so I could hear what was going on, and then I'd reproduce it that way rather than just read the music. I was never great at that. I trip out on drummers that can sit down cold with drum tablatures, read that shit, and play it. I'm just like, that's so far out of my concept.
It's like robotic more than organic music.
Oh my god! Yeah,
right?
I just can't even
and
conceive.
a 2E and a
right. They're just reading music live, going.
Chad, I know you're not a fan of hair metal, but what do you think of one-arm drummer Rick Allen? I mean,
oh my god! Well, listen. I'm not a big fan of hair metal, but I've always liked Def Leppard, and his story is amazing for sure.
Fucking amazing, his story.
We got to open for Def Leppard in Australia when we had Chris Shin in the band. We went down there and opened for Def Leppard in Australia, and that was freaking cool. So I got to meet Rick.
Wow, I did not know that.
And sat behind his kit, at least looked at it, just figured out it's wild. I mean, what he's accomplished is amazing.
Yeah.
I like how you said that, Barry. There was some music in the '90s that was a little dark, and then you found the lightness in live music that kind of inspired you and got you out of the darkness. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Because I was all into Pearl Jam and Nirvana and Alice in Chains before I found live. And this Nirvana was really fucking depressing. And when I read the story that you guys actually met Nirvana in San Francisco at the hotel the night that Nevermind debuted and Your Mental Jewelry debuted, I was like, wow.
Our video for Operation Spirit debuted that night. Yeah. We watched it with Chris and Dave Grohl. Kurt was in his room, but got to hang out with them.
I wonder what Kurt was doing in that room, Chad.
Who knows?
Yeah, probably heroin.
Right.
We saw him walking around in the pool area, but it's wild.
Yeah. So, as you know, Chad, one of my advisors, which is how I met you. I actually met you because you were friends with this girl from Howard Stern that I was affiliated with for a while, named Elisa Jordana.
Oh, I was never
and
friends
who's
with
a
her.
nutcase.
I just
Yeah, but I approached you because of her, and
Oh,
because
Benji's girlfriend.
you
I
were
know her.
following each other on Instagram, and I was like, this is really cool, and but John, something you may not know, Niall Henson, who's one of the co-founders of MTV and CMT, and brought the first concert to pay-per-view in '82 with the Stones. He and the Who and stuff like that. He's actually one of my mentors, and I'm actually his protege.
Rock on.
Yeah, so it's like so.
When you say mentor, Barry, what does he mentor you on, if you don't mind me asking?
So he mentors me in life and business and how to succeed. He's done several things. He owned the National Lampoon's franchise at one point.
Wow.
He co-built MTV, CMT, pay-per-view. He invented home shopping. He was the first GM and co-founder of Nickelodeon. He was one of basically 5 pioneers of cable television. He was at the Cube experiment under Time Warner in the late 70s. And MTV was originally called Sight and Sound. It was before it was MTV.
Oh, wow.
And it was formed off Pop Clips is what they called it, is what he told me when I interviewed him, because I'm also a journalist with a Roundtable Media, which is the Street's crypto division. So cool. Basically, I hooked up Chad because I know he's doing a whole Bitcoin mining thing. I hooked him up with a big venture capitalist a while back named Peter Saddington. I don't know whatever became of that yet, but they were supposed to form a venture fund and get something going. I don't know what's happened with that yet, Chad. Has anything happened or no?
Right now, it's kind of on the back burner.
Okay.
We shifted gears, but we intend to talk to Pete again and bring him back when we're ready.
Okay, cool. And how's your mining operation going with getting it going?
Pretty good. We've kind of shifted gears into solar, so we're been working on that.
Okay.
Barry, mind if I ask?
I should have a conversation with you about that, and then you sent me a text about possible sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about. I was actually not the show, but you in general. I was thinking, you're such an iconic rock drummer. You should have your own fucking brand lines, like your own shit, and it's and that's one thing I'm really good at going to companies for and being a go-getter is going to companies. And even though your social media presence isn't like in the hundreds of thousands on Instagram or anything like that,
I started
with your following yet, but
yes.
Yet I should say, but you're an iconic name, in rock history. So it's personally, I feel Live should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already.
Agreed.
Well, I would agree with that. I appreciate you saying that. I don't think of myself that way, but I appreciate you saying that. And
I know you're a very humble guy, Chad. I know.
We'll definitely talk
conversations. For sure. Oh, do you remember how we joked around on the phone the first time you called me, and you and I had mentioned the Beavis and Butthead episode with the I Alone music video, how they forgot your drum kit on the van or something, and you were dancing around with the candle and all this stuff, and you were and Beavis and Butthead were making fun of you, and you were that's my 15 minutes of fame. It's pretty funny.
It's my proudest moment in my career for sure. I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, but I have to say that most people would say that Throwing Copper is probably their favorite live album. I would have to say A Distance to Here is my favorite one.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Run to the Water is just a message of hope in that song. Has saved my life so many times,
Cool.
where I had depression issues and mental health issues, and I was bullied, and that saved my life so many times, that song Run to the Water and that music video. So whenever I get down, I put on that song, and it just has done so much for me.
Cool.
Even Lightning Crashes, I mean, that's a Throwing Copper, and that's your biggest hit ever. But but that song gives me hope too. But Run to the Water really, because is much more meaningful for me.
Very cool. Well,
yeah.
I'm glad it helped.
Yeah. So
go to a live concert
So,
back in the day when Chad was touring?
yes. I actually have. I
Rock
was at
on.
Woodstock in '99.
Hey,
So I
nice.
saw them. I was 19. I saw them at Woodstock in '99, and that was the only time I ever got to see live in concert.
you look very young for being 19.
I
and
know I'm going to be
99, Barry.
45 next month.
Rock
Very
on,
young, right?
dude.
Nice.
What's
Blessed.
the
I always joke, I'm blessed with good looks, youth, and a big fat effing. You know what?
Nice.
Dude,
There you go.
go Barry. Let's go. Rock on.
So did you stick around for the whole fucking Woodstock thing, like all the bullshit going down, or did you leave?
No,
early?
no, I didn't. But I heard about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't at the end.
Oh, good.
No.
You didn't have to endure that horse shit. That was
No,
nuts.
that was pretty bad.
Yeah. So that's funny.
All right, I got a question for you. So,
Yeah.
the dude with MTV and all that stuff, how did you guys hook up your mentor? How did that relationship come
So
about?
basically, I met him through this guy Ken Shepard, who he was working with. So who's a finance guy, and basically does collateral-based loans on real estate stuff like shopping centers and stuff like that. And Ken's heart always lied in entertainment. So Ken was actually, I believe, was invited to be a co-founder in CAA. And he declined that night that Ovitz and all of them got together around the table when they were at William Morris, and they decided to found CAA. And so that was one of his big fuck ups. But I'm not certain about that 100%. But then Ken also worked at CBS and stuff like that. So basically, he worked with like some music acts and stuff like that too back in the 80s on some hit songs. And so his heart always lied in entertainment. So Niall and Idle Rock Entertainment put together a Monster Energy drink behind Iggy Azalea, the rapper who just recently retired from touring, I think.
She retired? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she retired apparently, I think, is what I read. But she they put Monster Energy drink behind her in like 2011 or 2012, whenever it was her debut tour. And that's how she got her tour off the ground. So they did that, and I met Ryan Gill, who used to be at Idle Rock Entertainment. He's now somewhere else. I don't know where he is now, but yeah, I got my start representing Olympic sailors straight out of University of Miami. First, I went to New York Institute of Technology to an autism and spectrum disorder program, and then I went on to UM and earned 2 diplomas, and
Wow.
Never look back.
Very cool.
So,
wow.
Yeah. I actually only did the majors without the core courses in college. So I got 2 advanced diplomas, which are not considered degrees, but they're like almost equivalent. So they're equivalent to almost associates. But to be able to found what I did is pretty amazing. I mean, if you read my story, I've represented like Tim Hardaway of the Miami Heat. I rebounded his post-career after his 2008 gay bashing comments. 2007 gay bashing comments, I should say that is. And I don't get along with him because he's kind of an arrogant ass to me. And I don't know about other people, but he's kind of an arrogant ass to me. And I didn't like it. But Kurt Schilling, the baseball legend, I've heard from a few people, it's kind of a real arrogant prick. But I can say that because he's been that way to me.
Yeah.
And he has a son with autism named Grant. And I was trying to truly look out for Kurt and help him out after he blew his fortune on that, whatever that 49 or 39 Studios, whatever that was called, that video game company. And I was trying to help him, but at the same time, I was being defrauded by a penny stock fraudster who was actually civilly convicted that year in 2013 of running a penny stock fraud under a company called ArtFest International. And right when he was acquiring my company, my agency.
Was that Jordan Belfort?
No, it was actually a guy named Edward Vaxer.
Just kidding.
And yeah, I don't know, but Edward Vaxer, career con artist, in my opinion. I have to say in my opinion. You know, I can't come out there and say that literally. You know,
Sure.
Right.
but he was civilly convicted of running a fraud with by the SEC in 2013. So he's never been criminally convicted of any felonies, so he can still run, you know, these shell companies and run them into the ground, loot the shells and stuff like that. But I didn't do my proper due diligence on him. That was the problem. So that was my fault. So as I always say to people now, if you allow yourself to get fucked so many times, who's the common denominator in that scenario? You.
Why? Oh, you.
Exactly.
Yep. So
Yep.
I've allowed to get myself to get fucked a few times. So that I became the common denominator in those situations. So
Every
know,
time I allow myself to get fucked, Barry, I make sure they wear a condom. So make sure you do.
yeah, of course. But yeah, but
you need to write a
I
book.
finally got a
Barry, by the way.
settlement this year for it. So that's the good news. I finally got a settlement a few months ago from the new owners of that company.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah. So I finally got my shares in the company. They're rebounding the company. It was put in a dark market on the extra market. And now the guy is rebounding it. And so I'm going to be able to get something out of selling my agency to this company finally. And I'm happy about that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Barry is a man of many hats, dude.
Yes.
I'm impressed in our first like 20 minutes here to find out all this about you.
Yes.
You make me feel at 42 that I have not accomplished enough yet. So I've got some catching up.
Well, you've accomplished, I think, quite enough.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So Barry, I had a question.
Yes.
Did Jordana ever go to jail for that crap she did on that?
Yeah, she did. She went to jail overnight. Did I tell you about that, or did you hear about it? I
saw some of it on Instagram. You had told me a little bit about it. I saw that video that went viral
so
of her smacking her boyfriend in the face.
That night, she spent overnight in jail, but she actually pled out to a misdemeanor. She pled out to a misdemeanor of simple assault. And she actually was court ordered for a psychiatric evaluation as part of her plea deal.
Yeah,
she has major fucking mental issues. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Major fucking mental issues.
Allegedly,
yeah.
His opinion.
No, but now I can come out and say it. She even openly admits she's bipolar now. She admits she has major issues, but like she's
that's good. That's the first step to fixing it, is admitting it and getting help. So that's good.
Well, she's a fucking nutcase. I'll tell you that. I don't know if you saw the footage of I brought her to the Possible event 2023 in Miami Beach. And she decided to live stream there, and she wasn't supposed to. I found out afterwards. And basically, I asked security, is she allowed to do that? And they said no. And I kept saying, get the fuck away from me. You're going to get me in trouble. I'm here as a guest of some big promoters.
Right.
And she wouldn't leave me alone. She kept stalking me at the event. And like, then she introduces me to this guy named Donnell, who I actually wound up working with later on. And he turned out to be like some piece of work too. That's a complete nut job.
Oh boy.
And basically
there's lots of them in the world.
This guy is a real piece of work. I'll tell you what happened. So I brought him to a blockchain conference. Say when I invited you to in Orlando, Chad.
Yeah.
And I brought him to that conference, and he was staying in we had 2 double beds in a hotel room, and he was staying in the bed closest to the bathroom. So I'm sleeping in my bed, and all of a sudden I hear this noise. He's jerking off in the bed next to me.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
I'm like, get the fuck out of my room. You know, it's like, I'm like, quit that shit or get the fuck out of my room. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I could wake you. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, and he was trying to hit in every piece of ass that he could find of a girl in that entire trip. You could tell that guy was so fucking lonely and such a loser that he basically was hitting on every single piece of ass. He was so desperate.
Wow.
My God.
Did it succeed at all?
You did.
No comment, but like, no comment, but yeah.
Banking his monkey next to a dude that he knows.
And I'm like, what the fuck, you know? I'm like, I'm not in the dudes, dude. I'm in the chicks, you know? Get the fuck out of here. You know, it's like, So it's like, so it really pissed me off,
You think that was his way of inviting you? Like, well, hey,
I
we're
don't
both
fucking know,
here.
and I don't want to know. It's like,
Right.
Like,
but I had to have my lawyer send him a cease and desist letter because he got really belligerent, became a drunk, and like I found a bottle of alcohol next to his bed. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's like,
Wow.
I didn't want you to see that. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm
Barry,
not going to say his last name on the show, but like this guy's a real piece of work. And he's trying to navigate the blockchain and AI scene in Miami, but he's getting blackballed from every event because of the way he's acted towards me. I'm a media partner to everybody.
Barry, I know I'm not your mentor, but just a little piece of advice. Don't be so open and inviting to people. Get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah, of course. I've learned that. I'm autistic, so it's like, so I get a little bit too trusting at first, but I've kind of cut that out of the picture. And now I have people looking out for me, and I actually do due diligence on people before anything.
You're a good person. You like to lead with your heart. And unfortunately, in this crappy world we are in, it doesn't work all the time. You gotta do that due diligence, man.
Definitely doesn't.
Yeah,
a lot of shitheads out there take advantage of you. So
to get into but my background, I actually got thrown under the bus by the Democrats in 2018, and Chad knows this, I think. But basically, I actually got wrongfully incarcerated by the feds in 2018 to 2019 under false felony charges. And what they did was they plugged me out to 2 misdemeanors at the end of the day just to justify the time. Wow. They couldn't prove anything that I did anything wrong. So it's
what did they come after you for?
Because I was supporting Trump, that's why.
Well.
Because I sued the ex-regime at Twitter for permanently suspending my account.
Got it.
Thank you, Elon, for giving it back to me. So now,
you sued Twitter, and then the feds came after you, just out of the blue. I guess there was no connection. I'm sure, right?
Well, there was a connection. Yeah, I mean,
I'm saying sarcastically. Obviously, there's a connection.
Oh yeah, you're being sarcastic, but DOJ, Twitter. You want to hear the ironic thing? The very law firm working with Twitter at the time was Perkins Coie. Nice. You know who they knew about them and then Steele dossier, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it's like
they just happened to be Twitter's fucking lawyers.
So
Got it.
So they just happened to do shit to me,
Well, we were just talking about this earlier. The left is all pissed off at Elon because he showed them they were lied to, but not at the people that lied to them.
Right.
That's what's fucking hilarious about the left.
Yeah,
they're mad at the guy who showed them they were being lied to, but not at the people that lied to them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fucking insane to me.
I fucking love Trump. He's been my idol ever since I was 8 years old, and like around 87 or 88 when I was a kid, and I would fly into LaGuardia in the summers to see my grandparents in New York and my family. One day, all of a sudden, I saw Trump on a bunch of Eastern Airlines old 727s. And I said to my mom and dad, I'm like, who is that? And they're like, that's Donald Trump. Your great uncle used to represent him. And like my parents were always Democrats, and like my whole family were. I actually only switched to become a Republican in 2010, but I started voting Republican first in 2008 for McCain because I had got a political education from Glenn Beck in 2006 on a show on Fox News. So I have him to thank for that.
Amen.
And you grow up with the way you're taught and the way you're fed and like the way you're taught certain things. So I never had a winning president that I voted for until fucking Trump.
Yeah, baby.
I voted for Gore, Kerry, McCain, and Romney, and then Trump.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
So it's like, and I knew Trump was going to win in 2015. And
you did?
Yeah, I knew it because just the size of his rallies compared to Hillary Clinton's. Yeah, I knew the polls were manipulated. Right. I know a star when I see one. And I can tell you that Trump definitely manipulated the fuck out of the left-wing media to get all that media airplay. And there's no such thing as bad PR.
Right.
So it's like, so all that shit talk they did to him just like this time around really put him back. And I remember his last words when he left in the podium before he boarded Air Force One for the last time. Remember what his last words were, Chad?
No, I don't. Tell me.
He said, "We'll see you all again."
Nah. Right. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
damn.
So all I've said Trump had to say this entire time during the campaign was, "I told you so."
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't say that, but he should have went on saying, "I told you so," you know. And,
Yeah,
and he was like, "You miss me yet?" You know, and it's like everybody missed him already at this point, you know.
Well,
And
it's
I'll
fun
tell
to
you
watch.
what,
It's fun to watch the left melt down about it, and it's also
yeah, I
fun to
know.
watch the
I
left.
love watching the left belt down about it. It's so good. It's so
You've
so
seen
funny
that
watching.
chart where it shows the amount of voters, and there's like huge spike in 2020 for Biden, like
Yeah,
15
of
million
course.
more votes.
All those voters came in
Right.
in ballot boxes like
But
at 3 a.m. They caught him on live camera, so
Of
they
course,
couldn't
yeah.
cheat this time.
But the left has
couldn't
spun it into
this time.
why didn't those voters show up this time for Kamala? Well, because they didn't exist, dumbass.
Right.
You should see my recent Twitter X post I did like a few weeks ago, right after Trump won. I said, "I wonder where the 20 million missing voters are for Kamala."
Exactly.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, and I even tagged her in it and Biden. I tagged her and Biden in it, and it was pretty funny. Yeah,
No response.
no response at all. No response at all from anybody.
It's
But
just it's wild to watch the left
It was
spin
great.
everything. It's just wild to watch them spin everything. It's
Yeah.
it just trips me out how they spin.
Yeah, so
they have a spin for everything, and it's like they all get the same.
Yeah.
It's like they all get the same talking points every day from whoever sends them out, and they say the same shit every day. They use the same buzzwords. Oh, JD Vance is a weirdo coming from the left. They're calling JD Vance a weirdo. And they're like literally the whole party is filled with weirdos.
JD Vance is an American fucking hero. He served his country
exactly
in the military, went to college in a GI Bill.
Yep.
And graduated, invested in companies, and then became a U.S.
senator.
Well, I thought it was.
Or was he a congressman?
Yeah,
senator.
Was a senator or congressman? I forget exactly.
I believe he's a senator right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Bobby, stop jerking off and let us know.
But basically, and he grew up the son of a drug addict.
Right, I was going to say that. Yes.
Whole neighborhood.
Right.
So it's like so think about that. All the adversity he's had to overcome.
Yeah.
I love that story. That's an American feel-good story. That's the story everybody loves. That comeback story of an American comeback story, because everybody loves the underdog in America.
Well, everyone loves that except for the left.
Senator.
Except for the left, exactly. Everybody
Ohio
loves
senator, right? Yes. So he was a senator, but everyone but the left loves a comeback story because they're like, or pick yourself up by your bootstrap story because they believe that the government's going to do that for you.
And you want to demonize that human, that individual. Like that should be what you promote in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People like you, Barry, we should be promoting. When are you running?
Yeah, I know.
You got my vote.
I listen to this. I actually, because nobody knows mental health and autism better than me. I have a friend, actually two friends, and they're very close with people in Trump campaign, including Trump himself. So one friend is Amy Avilio. He's the head of the Brickell Chamber of Commerce here in Miami. He actually is head of Hispanics for Trump, or was. And basically, he was with Kennedy backstage the night that before Kennedy went on stage in Arizona to endorse Trump. He was actually there with Kennedy. He sent me the picture of him with Kennedy backstage. I'm like, holy fuck. And like right before Kennedy went on stage. And he had told me at that point that like a deal had already been worked out for Kennedy to become HHS secretary behind closed doors. And he said, don't say anything, Barry, until it's done deal, till it's like announced, you know? But then I have a friend named Jeffrey Hazlett who actually did the Celebrity Apprentice for Trump and was the CMO of Kodak. I'm sure you remember that, Chad. The Kodak thing with the Celebrity Apprentice in the first episode, I think was. Yeah, so that's how it was formed. Was the Apprentice was Donald Trump, the Celebrity Apprentice was all Jeffrey Hazlett and Donald Trump together. The story is, I saw on Jeffrey Hazlett talking about it, is that he basically called Donald Trump office and said, I have $10 million to spend. You have 5 minutes to get back to me. He spoke to the receptionist. And I said, I want to spend it for marketing because he was the CMO of Eastman Kodak. And then after he did the Celebrity Apprentice with Trump, he actually went on to hosted the C-Suite on Bloomberg. And now he owns the C-Suite Network, which is like a major business network where they do a TV channel, podcast network. They have like everything you can imagine. This guy is loaded beyond I could ever imagine. Like when he paid for dinner with me, he at Houston's in Aventura in Miami, he whipped out his American Express Centurion card, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's for the real deal, you know? So it's like so I was like, wow, I was really impressed by that. But like
spending some loot if you're pulling that out.
Yeah. So it's like, so I'm sorry about the lawnmower, by the way. They started doing this like before the podcast, and they started doing it like again now, but like they're doing the maintenance on the lawn.
Oh, no worries, Barry.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All good in the hood.
I hate it when they do that right before I go on air in the podcast, but
don't they know who you are, Barry? You should go out there and
yeah, I know. I should tell them and go like that.
Right. You're fired.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
Go out there and fire them, Barry.
Yeah. So, but I can't help it. The condo association pays for it, so you gotta let them do their shit. You know?
No worries. We
all good.
We'll block it out mentally.
Yeah.
So Barry, you're in Florida.
Yes, I'm in Miami. I love Miami. Never want to go to LA ever. After being there last year, I was there last year.
Yeah.
And I never want to go back.
Yes, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I try to avoid going to LA as much as
Gavin
possible.
Newsom has really fucked up that state with Nancy Pelosi and the fucking and Adam Schiff and the fucking liberal left-wing agenda has really fucked up that state.
And then these idiots in this fucking state just elected him, Adam Schiff, to fucking Senate here.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, man. Pick someone.
Yeah.
This guy fucking lied to your face for 4 years with Russian collusion. We got the evidence. It's coming out. We got more evidence. It's coming out. Lied to your face.
I know.
And then they vote for him to become senator. It's like, my God.
I know.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Do they realize that once it's flipped and it's no longer their team doing this, that they're the ones that are fucked then? And, you know, like it's
well, that's the thing about the left. Like they do all this crazy fucked up shit and they never seem to course correct and go, this is not working. Let's try this over here. They just keep doubling down on their woke bullshit.
That's how they get
nobody wants it.
Off course, dude. Is they never course correct.
Did you see how they did a gay Star Wars apparently? Oh my God.
Oh, that failed utterly.
Nobody fucking showed up to the box office.
Right. And of course, then the stars are coming out blaming it on the male Star Wars fans, and they're putting it off on the fans. It's like, no, you're making a shitty product, and no one wants to see it.
Yeah.
Right. That's what their deal is, to blame the people that support
that actually your consumers.
Right.
Yeah.
Blame them. That sounds like a very smart business fucking plan.
And then those people in there have
dumbest
Stockholm.
move I've ever heard in my life.
It is, but they have Stockholm syndrome, and they fucking keep going along with it.
That's right.
To fucking
protect your abusers.
Whoopi Goldberg the other day on The View was her birthday, and she blamed her politics as the reason why they didn't give her the cake she wanted.
Oh, that bakery in Staten Island, yes.
And she's provided so much fucking publicity to the bakery. She didn't even announce who they were. No. But their orders went off the fucking chain.
As it should.
Afterwards. And if I was the baker, I'd be like, fuck you, Whoopi Goldberg. I would do that to her, you know?
That was the beauty of Elon when he was like, they're like, well, the advertisers are pulling out. He's like, well, fuck you. Pull out. I don't care. That's the nice.
The only thing that sucks about that backfiring on Whoopi is that the bakery can't sue her now for defamation because they've actually gotten more sales, so there's no damage. That's the only bad part about it, because if they could actually sue the dumbass and take her to court and say, like depositions and like put her through the ringer, that would be great.
She didn't name the bakery, and she said allegedly, so she's kind of protected over defamation.
Of course she is. Whatever.
They should make
legally a little bit, you know.
Whoopie cakes.
Yeah. Nice, Bobby. They should make whoopie cakes.
Yeah.
Fuck you up your takes.
But so I was listening earlier before you guys brought me on, and you were talking about all these liberal celebrities leaving the country. I just want to see Donald Trump put Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift on board Air Force One and get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Send them away.
Let's go.
Well, I just saw a little blip on Instagram that she was very close to one of his games and didn't go. I think there might be trouble in paradise. We'll see. She's got to write a new record soon. There's gonna be a breakup soon.
Yeah. And did you see all these Swifties for Trump that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So it's like, so you have all these Swifties for Trump because like more than half the college kids voted for Trump.
Oh, dude, college kids came in strong on this. Yeah. Well, like my son's 15. He and his friends for like years now have been making fun of all this woke shit and like the next generation. All this shit's a pendulum, right? It's all swung way too far to the left, and everyone's like, fuck this dumb shit. Let's bring it on back because we ain't doing this anymore. Your woke mind virus, we don't want to hear about it anymore. Sorry.
Right.
Thank God.
Right. So they're actually saying that the generation after Gen Z or Gen Z itself, it's a generation after Gen Z, it's going to become the most conservative generation in history of the country.
That's how the pendulum swing.
Yeah.
Because they've literally had to endure men's masculinity been taken. Boys masculinity has been like stripped.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
I mean, they're telling these fucking kids that don't even know what they're doing and having regrets later, transitioning, becoming transgender.
Right. And there's
it's like, and they have regrets later. I mean, these kids even commit suicide over this shit.
Oh, there's tons of detransitioners, but you never hear about them on mainstream media or because they don't. That's not the narrative they want to sell. But there's lots and lots of people that regret transitioning when they were children because they are now permanently altered where they can't ejaculate, they can't have kids.
Right.
Like, these are not the kind of decisions that a child is able to make when they're a child.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And people that should be protecting them are not.
The parents should be making decisions, not the kids.
Well, but in this case, it's the parents. Some of these wacky fucking parents, they want trans kids so they can go, look how cool I am. I'm socially cool. I have 13 trans kids. It's like,
that's why I'm all for laws that say you can't have the consent to transition until you're 18.
Exactly.
Or until you're 21, maybe even to be able to say, I want to transition. You know, not me per se, but somebody else. Like I'm happy with my masculinity, being a man. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like I love pussy. Sorry, no dick for me. You know, it's like so it's like
age, you should have to be mentally evaluated before you start making permanent changes to your body that cannot be taken back.
Be permanently mentally evaluated. And you know what? If you do decide to transition, I think you need to sit in a nut house.
Because you remember plastic surgeons back in the day, like if somebody wanted to come in and completely alter themselves, like they would like okay, well, you need to go speak to somebody like an ethical person. Ethical surgeons would do that. And that's the deal with a lot of these people, transitioning. Either they're mentally ill or they're too young to realize what's going on, and nobody's providing the help that they need until it's too late, and it cannot.
Well, there's a giant fucking profit center that's built up around this too. I mean, literally, big pharma is way into this because they get clients for life from these people because they have to take hormones for life and all these pills. Right. And it's just, it's horrible. And they're making these decisions when they're 12, 11, 12. It's like, what are you doing? Like, we're the only country now, I think, in the whole world that's allowing this. Like, and that because the left is always like, well, Europe's doing it. Western Europe's doing it. Well, they're not doing it now. They've all been like, nah, maybe we shouldn't be fucking up our kids like this. Doesn't seem very moral.
Yeah.
I can't believe it just got so far.
So let me say something real quick. What was I going to say? I was going to say that I actually forgot what I was going to say, but basically,
let's put another shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah, maybe, but I actually forgot what I was going to say about this matter.
Right.
But
it happened.
Yeah, but there are so many kids out there that shouldn't be doing this shit, and it's like, and what I was gonna say was nowadays these trans chicks are like, they look like actual fucking females. So it's like,
yeah, some of them do, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
pretty.
it's
You're like, whoa,
scary.
that's amazing.
It's scary,
Right. Shaved Adam's apples.
It's scary. Yeah, it's scary. I was actually at my fucking incubator class for Built in Miami for Venture Miami reunion, and apparently these two girls I thought were chicks at the bar turned out to be dudes that were trans. And I only found this out, and I had no idea I was hitting on them, and I had no fucking clue that they were trans. It's like,
even if you're fully transitioned and you've chopped that thing off and you have the right,
it's crazy.
Downstairs, I still want to know before I get into this what once were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me decide.
Yeah, just tell me, please. Right. Don't automatically assume I'm into a trans chick.
All of a sudden, I got to put a hose up there to get my jizz out, and it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
well, I think part of that surgery is, especially where they transition from men to women, is they make that fake vagina, and then they got to stretch the hole every fucking day. It's like, oh my God, or it'll scar shut. I'm like, oh,
right. It doesn't want to be.
Sounds godly awful. I mean, like, I don't think that they tell them about that shit.
Right. I remember what I was going to say now. I actually have a really funny story about my time in the feds. I was in there with rapper Kodak Black in the same unit. And basically, I don't want you to choke in your water, Chad, but this is a really funny story. So don't take a sip as I tell you this. But basically, I'm sitting there in the main area one day watching TV. Kodak Black walks up to me, and I'm eating honey roasted peanuts, and I'm pulling. I know he's homophobic. I know, like, all this stuff, and so basically I'm like, "Hey, Kodak, you want to try some of my nuts?" He's like, "Homie, I don't play that." I'm like, "You sure? They're sweet and salty."
Playing with fire, dude.
And he's like, "Barry, if I didn't know you were crazy, I'd beat the shit out of you right now." And everybody there thought I was a nut job. They thought I was crazy because I played the crazy card so well. They didn't have me in my bipolar meds properly. They had me all fucked up on wrong medications, and I was just not stable.
Right.
So I was able to basically, something I found out when I first arrived is you could plead not guilty by something called reason and diminished capacity of mental illness, and I should have done that from the get-go. But instead, I went for all these psychiatric evaluations. They shipped me off North Carolina. I actually met one of El Chapo's right-hand men up there. And I actually met Jared Kushner's second cousin.
Oh, he was in there too?
Money laundering.
Oh, shit.
This guy, Louis Lazowitz.
Barry, do you understand what I'm saying about this book you need to write, dude?
I know. I've had offers for like 5 or 6 book deals. But the problem is I've had Leaders Press approach me, I've had ghostwriters, I've had all these people approach me. But the problem is y'all want like 80 grand, 100 grand up front. I'm like, I'm not paying that.
No.
For a book. I'm like, you ghostwrite it. I'll give you 50% of the earnings, and you could put the other 50% into my charity because I have a nonprofit for mental health and autism, where I actually have a crypto token around it for creating content creator jobs. I don't want to talk about that too much on here because I don't know if we can talk about that on here with like the social media stuff. But basically,
hang on. Breaking news. There's an insurrection happening at the Capitol right now.
There is?
But it's the left, so you won't hear anything
about
it.
Yeah.
A bunch of Hamas
you won't hear about it.
have stormed the Capitol, and they're putting up all these stupid banners. Yeah.
Wow.
But they won't call this an insurrection.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll just call it trespassing.
There's no feds planted in the fucing the crowd.
Yeah, they'll just call it trespassing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These people.
Yeah. So that's a really funny story about one of my funny stories about the feds, but like it's pretty much one of the only funny stories I got, but I got others too, but I'll save them for another rainy day.
Well, it's
love
crazy that
that.
you got to, you experienced actual lawfare. It's just wild, man.
Yeah.
Because,
I
there's lots of people
experienced
that have experienced it.
weaponization of the justice system.
Well, exactly. Yes.
And what I was going to say was earlier was that regarding Avilio and my friend Jeffrey Hazlett, I've approached them to approach Trump and Kennedy about a possible position for me in the White House.
Let's go.
As a volunteer mental health and autism advocacy spokesperson underneath HHS. It would be the first time that this would ever exist in history of the country that an advocacy spokesperson for mental health and autism and special needs would ever exist in that position in the White House. And I'm waiting to hear back from Avilio to see if he's spoken to Bobbay about it because he has Bobby's cell phone number.
Rock
and I'm
on.
waiting to see if he's spoken to Bobbay about it, but he has to talk to Bobby Kennedy to see if it can be done.
Barry,
but I'm worried that with all my shit out there about Elisa Jordana and my arrest by the feds, I'll never pass a background check by Secret Service now. But even
Possibly.
though Trump is a felon and it's gonna all be overturned, but he's a felon.
The case was just adjourned, so he's technically I just learned this the other day. He's technically not a felon until he's sentenced, but he hasn't been sentenced yet, and the case was just adjourned. It's been all over social media.
I did not know that.
Right. And so if that is the case, got to get verification of it. But if that's the case, and this is usually how we find out real shit's happening, we'll see a bunch of it on Instagram, and then the left will go, "That's not real. It's conspiracy theory." And then you're like, "Oh, it is real. Okay, shit." So anyway, so if that's adjourned and that case goes away, no more 34 felons
exactly. Which is great news.
Well, it was going to happen either way because when he appealed it, his constitutional rights were destroyed by this judge. He put on a gag order. He was literally telling the jury not to listen to certain evidence. The judge is telling the jury, "Don't listen to this evidence."
Right. And
I have lawyer friends that are literally going, "Yeah, he's a 34 count felon." It's like, have you actually looked into the case and what happened with it? You're a lawyer. You should fucking know when someone's rights are being violated.
Oh yeah, they violated my constitutional rights big time. They did all the shit to me that was big time bad.
What do you got there, Bobby?
I have this. This is
wow.
Oh, it's delaying sentencing, right? Mm-hmm.
Now, are they delaying it till he's out of office, or delaying it?
That's what they thought. One of the things they might try, but
they're saying that they're going to do it till he's out of office. That's
right.
What they're
saying. Hold on. Don't you have a right as a criminal to have a speedy sentencing and all this jazz? How can they delay that?
Because they're corrupt as fuck.
Right.
But like I said, he's going to appeal it. He'll win on appeal.
Yeah. 100%, dude.
He'll definitely win on appeal.
The New York Supreme Court already went after the prosecution,
James and
all that bullshit
on the civil case. Yeah.
I mean, you had these Dem lawyers. There's video of it. The Dem lawyers are sitting there going, "Okay, we're about to start the hearing," and the first thing the judge asks is, "Has there ever been a case that has precedent here? Has there ever been a case where there's not been a victim, and you're just going after somebody because you can?"
Right.
For a victimless crime, but the banks were all paid back, and the banks all said they were paid back, and there was no victim.
Right.
And the lawyers were like, yeah, because there's not.
Insane.
Yeah.
So Barry, talk to us about this coin you got going on here, because we do. We like to leave the audience wanting more, but I want more.
Okay,
Barry, because
so basically, we're the very first crypto token in history that basically is an autism and mental health charity utility token that pays content creators to create jobs for them that are autistic, have special needs, or mental health issues. So we're doing content creator jobs for them. You can also YouTube my name, by the way, and you'll see all this shit on me from related to Stern with Elisa, and you'll see a bunch of content on me, interviews like CBS News in New York and the Donna Drake show. You'll see block bits where I explain it more. But basically, you can go to my website, which is www.kwan, so Kwan, spelled like KWAN, exchange.com. And basically, you can read all about the token there, everything we're doing. And just get a load on there and watch the block bits video there. And basically, I was in also the Web3 news last year. Now we're also a payments token now. So listen to this. We're available through this app called GiveBucks, which is like a charitable app, but it's also an app where you can basically spend crypto as cash. Our retailers like Amazon, Disney, all these local retailers, right? TGI Fridays, like everywhere, Carrabba's, like Outback Steakhouse, like all this stuff. So basically you buy the token through the app and basically you spend it as a gift card transaction through the app. It's really cool. So the crypto comes across as a gift card transaction. And we're coming out in another app to be called Shop with Crypto. And basically that's through our exchange, NSAVX, that we're on in the US, which we're also in their website, DaVinci Pay, which is now called Deuce Pay, which allows retailers to accept crypto payments either Wix, WordPress, or a WooCommerce website.
Brilliant.
So basically, you can have a store. It's a plugin. It's a simple plugin that accepts crypto payments, and we're one of the crypto tokens accepted for that.
Very
so
cool.
Smart.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like so. Actually, our exchange in the U.S. they're actually transforming the world of crypto from being all about investments to all and like stuff like that, and being about profit and loss margin up and down in the dip to be making crypto spendable. Yeah. And that's the really cool thing I'm involved with that I really love. And also giving the philanthropic cause behind it too actually makes all the difference to me. Because I'm trying to give back to the community that actually helped me when I was growing up.
Well, those are scary markets you're getting into because you start messing around with that and making crypto spendable, man. You might have a target on your back bigger than you did back in the day.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's a utility. So it's not like, and Trump is the most crypto-friendly president in history of the world now. I actually saw him speak in Nashville. So I was there at the Bitcoin conference. I actually have a picture front row of Trump. I was there, but I wasn't physically like in the audience because I don't want to wait like 6 hours in line to be able to get a glimpse of him. So I actually went to the DNA house to actually watch him on screen there. But I sent my friend instead to go get the picture of Trump for me. And basically he got it, front row. And so I watched it from the comfort of the DNA house while eating gourmet food, and drinking some good spirits and stuff and, enjoying myself. So
let's go, Barry.
I didn't wait like a herd of sheep in a crowded stall,
Right.
Yeah,
you weren't
I didn't
part
wait
of the
like
little
that,
ants
like they all
marching.
did for that,
Good for you, Barry.
Yeah,
you
but
sound like you know what you like, who you are, and all that jazz, dude.
Yeah, so it's like, so I voted for Trump the first time. This time, actually in 2020, my civil rights were violated by Broward County in the state of Florida because after I got out of jail wrongfully, I was left homeless. So they put me inside the crazy house for like a year and like 2 months inside the state asylum. And basically, I made all sorts of nut cases in there. But that's when I reconnected with Elisa Jordan on her podcast. I called her one day and she was like, "Oh, I'm restarting Garmin Friends," like all this stuff. It was the podcast she had. And then she started doing this IRL streaming and then she left her gold job. And that's when all the shit started hitting the fan for her. But she's making bank. She makes like $2,000 a day off her Sims whenever she streams.
She's gorgeous. So
she is gorgeous, but she's a nut job.
Yeah, you can tell. You could tell.
Nut job. Completely.
Well, she dated the dude from the Howard Stern show, Benji.
I know. She dated Benji, and I heard a rumor that she there's a rumor saying she contracted herpes from him or something like that.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Get on the Valtrex. Watch out.
Yeah. So there's actually a fake Elisa Jordana Valtrex ad. That's a joke on fucking on YouTube. Boy. It's so funny. I got to send it to you, Chad. You're going to love this. It's pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah. So somebody created a fake Valtrex ad on her and it's pretty funny. And then somebody created a fake ad. Are they talking in code between me and her? Because I always stick out my tongue, did my Tourette's. It's a tick.
Mm.
So, and she does the same thing. So they're like, are they talking in code? It's like, it's pretty funny, you know?
Barry,
So
do you know what I'm
it's
saying?
like,
You got
so
me,
it's
Barry?
like, so it's pretty funny, but you know, there's actually this scene where I actually went on her podcast and I actually did something that was pretty funny on her podcast one day. It was one of my first appearances back on her podcast. And if you YouTube my name, you'll see it. It says Barry Boss, something on YouTube. You'll see me. And like, it's pretty funny. And you'll see Lisa Jordana. I'm like, I tell this guy that's in her podcast, I'm like, his name was Hytham. I'm like, Hytham, if you go on a camping trip with your best friend and the next morning all the shit's gone and the tent is gone and you have a condom sticking out of your ass, do you tell your friends yes or no?
Nice.
It's a trick question.
Yes,
Because
I got that.
if you say yes, you're admitting to it, and if you say no, you're still admitting to it. It's a great trick.
That is untenable.
You know, and I drove her crazy with that on her fucking podcast. And then at the end, she was dating Andy Dick at the time, which was he's even a worse nut job.
I saw that. Yeah,
and he's totally in the gutter. And
So wait, is she just a star
and-
fucker to go from Benji to Andy Dick? I mean, those guys are not even relatable.
Yeah.
at all.
And she actually dated the drummer from Marcy Playground.
Oh boy! All right.
And
She's hot.
that day I heard was a fucking catastrophe. I heard it was worse than Joe Biden's Depends.
Lovely.
Those are being sold on Barry's website, by the way. Joe Biden's Depends. You can go pick them up. Barry,
Buy with
how do
Quan
we-
tokens.
But yeah, so but it all depends on what your opinion is.
Double entendre. There you go. Barry, how do we pronounce your last name? Is it Mezey? M-E-Z?
Mezey, M-E-Z-E-Y.
Mezey got it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Rock on, man. You are a ball of energy, man. You got a lot of stuff
Thank you.
going on.
I appreciate the time.
You're inspirational, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I like your outlook on dude, on life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't let the people who try to get you down get you down. You're standing up for shit you believe in, man. That's a great qualities that you have, dude. So
there's actually, I know Chad's not a fan, and this guy was actually a total dick to me at the possible event in 2023 when I brought Elisa there. But I actually, John Bon Jovi, he turned into a dick upon me. And I actually mentioned it in the Web3 News in my article. And I said, and I went into how cool it was to actually become friends with one of my childhood heroes in Chad. So it's like to become friends with the childhood heroes is actually proof that dreams actually do come true. So it's like,
there you go.
So it's like you just got to believe, have optimism, an outlook, and blind faith. As this person always said, John Bon Jovi, but like I like the way he talks about that stuff, but he just turned into a dick upon me. And I even told him, I said, I'm not a business partner. He's like, oh, they're good for you. And I was wearing like sweatpants, shorts, like a t-shirt at this event. So it's like, so he didn't take me seriously,
Yeah.
Because everybody else was dressed in suits, but I'm like dressed like I don't give a fuck,
Right.
It's like so he didn't see the premium badge around my neck. He didn't see who I was with, like all this stuff.
Was that your MO, Barry, to kind of go there, kind of look in a little disheveled so you could see?
Yeah, so that's my MO with these crypto events in the past, is to kind of dress like a schlep, as I always say in the Yiddish, and be like somebody that people don't think actually is somebody that is a somebody.
Yeah.
At these events, I like to dress like a schlep because I don't want them to think I don't want people to think I'm a somebody. And
I love it.
And I want them to meet me and actually get to know me and actually see who I am.
Right. That's a brilliant way to go about things, man, because so many people, can get caught up in the glitzy stuff and not like for you.
Yeah.
That's the way to tell genuine people. I love it.
Yeah. So it's like, but now I have this this brand that's going to be sponsoring me called the Tozy Bespoke. And they're actually making a replica for me of John Bon Jovi's 1988 New Jersey tour jacket, but in all denim. But instead of leather denim, it's going to be all denim. But instead of saying Bon Jovi in the back, it's going to have my Quan 2.0 logo in the back for the autism and mental health token. And it's going to say Big B on the front in the pocket, over the pocket of the front left side, which is my nickname, Big B. It's spelled with a 1, by the way, instead of an I. Nice. I'm the number one Big B. Because there's a rapper named Big B too, so I kind of had to put a 1 there. Kind of like Big kind of like the Big Ten, but like the conference, but yeah. So basically, I have a bunch of content. You could either go on roundtable.io, view my stuff under Quan, under the Roundtable Network, read my articles, see stuff I do, and the reality show called Kryptonite, which is funny as shit, that I filmed last year. This new show is coming out called Kryptonites 2 that stole my show's name. And I'm actually getting ready for an IP lawsuit against them. I filed for the copyright in the US because I own it. As soon as I released the show, I own the copyright on it. And they bought the trademark in Singapore, but they don't own it in the US. They actually got denied. So it's too generic, so I'm going to challenge it in Singapore anyways. But they're produced by this major Emmy award-winning production house called All Rights or something like that. No, Rightstream, but the site that the guy owns is also called All Rights. So for distribution of content. So basically, I'm going to be suing them, getting hopefully a boatload of money for them stealing my IP. But then I also have a show I filmed which made me famous amongst Howard Stern fans called Big B. And that show is imagine autism, Tourette, bipolar, Ari Goldman, Entourage, Al Bundy, mixed with Kenny Powers of Eastbound and Down and Howard Stern. But times it by 100 million.
Okay.
On the raunchiness. Times it by 100 million on the raunchiness. I'm actually proudly, I can say, I'm only the second person in history to get banned by the FCC. The other person is Howard Stern.
I have a question though, Barry. Are you going raunchy just for the raunch, or is there something behind the raunch? Does it add to it?
It's my natural sense of humor. It's like borderline porn humor. It's fucking hysterical.
Love it.
I had 2 girls who were porn stars in the show. One of them was like only did 2 videos, but the other girl, this girl Alyssa, was like a major porn star in the past. Her name was Alexis Rodriguez was her porn name. And then
Rodriguez,
Alexis Rodriguez, the porn star.
I'm looking her up right now. I'm going to be spanking.
Yeah, Alexis Rodriguez, Alexis Rodriguez. She was a major porn star, Latina. Her real name is Lissa Gadsden, but now she's married and and is having a family. I don't want to dox her. Her last married name. No, but that was her maiden name, Gadsden. But I don't want to dox her under her married name.
Beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah, because she's left the porn industry is beyond that, point, But
I say once you're in porn,
you're always in for life.
Yeah, don't hide that part of your career.
Yeah,
I think
I was actually engaged briefly in 2015 to Russia's top porn star.
Really?
Yeah, her stage name was Marina Visconti, and she was global, huge around the world. And we were engaged for 3 months in a long distance relationship. I was a super fan, grew up a porn addict, because porn fucked with my mind. And that's why I talk about mental health all the time, how porn can fuck with your mind. And that's why my mind is so fucked with porn. I really don't know how to talk to women properly. Sometimes I'm just now learning at 44 years old, what to say, what not to say properly,
Sure.
And and
no pickup lines from porn none of that stuff.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like talking about
I've learned just be a nice guy. It's like
Yes.
and be genuine, and they love to laugh. They love all that kind of stuff. I mean,
Let me help you,
it's like,
Barry. You're a good person. Be you.
yeah.
Be genuine. That's
I
what you
was
need.
engaged
Exactly.
3 times to 3 different girls,
Okay.
and all turned into catastrophes because they didn't love me at the end because of my autism and didn't understand me.
Sure.
Mm.
And so it's like,
They're lost. They're lost, Barry. They're lost.
it's their loss, exactly. But I can tell you this: when I'm able to cash in my end of my tokens, I'll be worth $10 to $20 billion of my own token.
But you don't
So
want anybody coming after you for that, Barry. You want them
right.
coming after you for
I don't want anybody coming after me for that. So it's like I don't want like gold diggers or anything in my life. So it's
Right.
so I can see right through that with gold diggers. And I always joked in my show. I said to this guy at Nordstrom Bistro, Nordstrom's Bistros cafes, upstairs Nordstrom's where they had the bistros.
Yeah.
I was the GM. I'm like, well, if you want pussy, you got to pay for it either way. So it's like, so I'm like, either you could take a girl out to dinner, wine and diner, and hope to get laid, or you can just go up to a stripper in the club and put like $300 down, or get an escort and definitely get laid. So it's like, so I'm like, he's like, yeah, I see your valid point. So it's like, so.
Don't go the step further, Barry, where you pay.
No. But
then wine them and dine them. If you're paying the $300, you leave it there. No wine and dine.
Yeah. So it's like, so personally, I'd rather pay for the pussy, have them leave, because that's what you pay a whore for, is to leave, than have an annoying, nagging girlfriend or wife be around the rest of my life.
Well said, Barry. Oh, there's another. I'll give you one more thing. Don't tell this to the ladies when you're trying to pick them up. Leave this part out.
Yeah. But I'm just telling the truth. It's like, yeah. So it's like I would rather pay for the pussy than pay for to have a wife going through a divorce, or 2 or 3 divorces. I mean, God knows what Donald Trump spent on 2 divorces.
Mm-hmm.
And God knows I'm not even gonna go there with Chad's divorce, but like God knows how much money he had to give up.
I've had 2 as well.
Star, but no, Chad the stand-up guy. I Chad Gracey is one of my heroes in life, in the rock business, and like I appreciate his friendship, and like. And he's just a stand-up guy. He was always kind from the get-go, always has been ever since I met you, Chad. So I just want to say that from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your friendship.
Well, thank you. I appreciate yours as well. I appreciate you saying it too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I try to be good, try to be nice.
Yeah.
Treat everybody with respect, unless they disrespect me.
Do you miss it all being touring, or no? Do you miss it all going on tour with Ed or anything, or no?
No. I'm not missing it nowadays. No, I'd much rather be hanging out with my kids as much as I can, to have them every other week.
Yeah, so. I think Richie Sambora missed that too, which is why he left Bon Jovi big time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when his daughter turned, I think it was 15 or 16, is when he left the band. In 2013, whenever it was, that however old she turned in 2013, he had to be there. He had to be there for her, and like. And, when you're a rock star, you miss your kid's entire childhood.
Yep.
It's like, because you're touring every 2 years, it's like you're missing their childhood and birthdays and all this stuff. And
I've never missed a single birthday of my kids.
That's good. I applaud you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. So it's like, I applaud you for that too. But I know members in Bon Jovi have missed birthdays of their kids, and like
lots of bands,
lots of bands, and so there's a lot of unfaithfulness with their wives that goes on the road. So it's like, so basically, I think Richie did the best thing for himself. I don't like the way John Bon Jovi threw him under the bus. I'll tell you that. Same way I don't like the way Ed has thrown you under the bus. I'll tell you that. I really despise that, what Ed has done to you.
Barry, real, recognize
do?
real, and you are real as fuck, dude. So I
Thank you. I
appreciate
appreciate that.
you for being a real, genuine person, man.
Yeah.
You'll never lose sight of that. You're coming back on this show, correct?
Yes, I will
Yes.
love to. I would love to anytime.
Rock
Cool.
on, dude. You're awesome, man. Enjoy your time in Florida, man. I'm coming out there soon. My sister just moved there.
Whereabouts?
Port St. Lucie. Shout out.
Oh, okay. My friend Justin lives up there. He's a Democrat and hates Trump. He moved there like 2 years ago.
He
I went
sounds
to
like
UM with him. He's actually a big Live fan, and he's also a big Bon Jovi fan. But he hates Trump. He's from New Jersey. I don't expect anything less.
It happens, man. People don't understand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But he's actually big. He's actually
guys.
big in New Jersey music syndicate. He's actually toured with like John Eddy up there, and like and who used to tour Springsteen, and like all these other people. And he writes music very similar to Springsteen and Bon Jovi, but with the catch. So it's like very catchy,
I love it.
And
Gary, can you do me a favor and send me links to your website and stuff so I can post?
Yes, I will.
Description,
Put
anything
them in the description.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will, and you can please push my stuff for me on insert it wherever you have to, and like in for this episode, I'd be appreciative.
Absolutely. Well, hey man, it's good to see you. I'll give you a ring. We'll talk about other stuff.
Give me a ring anytime, Chad.
All right.
I actually got to go call a porn star in a few minutes.
Sweet.
Of all things.
All right.
Tell her to call me afterwards.
We can talk about that too.
Yeah. Talk about the OnlyFans girls I have in mind for you.
Oh my.
Yeah. So it's like, they love rock stars. So it's like,
Yes, they do.
So I don't want to get in trouble on the podcast or anything. Keep your private private.
I got no one to get in trouble with, so I don't care.
Yeah, I know. But I can tell you this: if I can score you one that's a friend of this girl at the porn star and OnlyFans chick, it'll be good for you. You'll have a lot of fun. I'll tell you that.
Barry in the house.
Sounds good. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Listen, thanks again for coming on, man. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Barry.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The one and only Barry Mezey, folks. Let's go. What a ball.
Great story. Inspiring.
Absolutely. Great dude.
I like how he's an activist and he keeps giving back to autism, charities and stuff. And yeah, it's great.
100, man.
Yeah.
I like how he's reaching out to Bobby Kennedy, trying to get in there. I mean, he's all over doing things. So, I mean, go Barry. Bobby, I know we didn't get you got to talk about some crypto there, but he'll be on again. You guys could spit y'all thing. Come on and say hello, Bobby. I know you were on already, but we love seeing your lovely face.
Yeah, I was just looking up his coin. Looks pretty interesting. It looks like he's
it looks like he's
my video's not starting.
It could be. I think there's been. I hope the audience out there wasn't too glitchy for you, but I had some breaking up going on my end. So when I watched,
it was pretty clear most of the time.
Good
on my end, anyway. Yeah.
It says the host has stopped it.
Host has stopped. What?
My video.
Negative.
Why did you stop at host?
Yeah. That host. No, there's no.
That's all right.
Sure.
Okay.
It's the fucking CIA.
Yeah, for real. They don't want to. No, yeah, he's a good guy. And then I was checking out his crypto. Like he wants to get 50% and 50%. That's awesome. You don't want to even make any profit from it. Like that's good.
I meant to tell him to go 40-60 on his book deal too, because he wants somebody to ghost write in. He'll take 50 and donate 50 to charity. You got to go 60-40, Barry. It's your story, man. They're just writing it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting to have, like, you need something like a mental addressing of what's going on, especially with all the people with autism and everything happening now.
There's definitely got to be a lot more. Yeah, they got to bring back, mental hospitals and places to treat these people instead of putting them on the street.
Well, the mental hospital
it's
bad because back in the day they were like shocking in the death, but like good like mental facilities where they actually try to rehabilitate and just not medicate and make you numb, like actually try to get to the root of the problem. I feel like so many of these mental hospitals are just people go in, there's no therapy, it's all medication.
Oh,
and
well,
they're around like
that's the
zombies.
same with
Yeah.
our whole medical system. It's fucking, I mean, this is all, our whole medical system is based on John D. Rockefeller, right? I mean, because all
Yep,
the
the
medicines are
petroleum
petromedicines. They're
Yeah,
made from petroleum.
exactly.
And so
Yep,
he
exactly.
literally set up the whole agenda for our medical schools.
Yeah.
The whole curriculum, everything was set up by John D. Rockefeller to promote pharmaceutical drugs. And then we're the only fucking country except for New Zealand where pharmaceutical companies can advertise in this whole world. Like that needs to be done. See ya. Get out.
For sure.
It's ruined everything. I mean, it's tainted all mainstream media. It taints everything.
When the side effects are like could cause like what you don't want affected, like if you're taking something for depression and it could cause you to fucking be so depressed you commit suicide, like what? How is that a side effect, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so my depression could get worse and I could want to die.
Right.
It's just crazy.
No, it's like let's not actually treat what's going on. Let's just give you a pill to mask the symptoms. Here you go.
Well, mental
That's all they want to do.
Tad, though, because if you let's just say you got put in there somehow, like there's no law to get you out. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not put in there by like a law put you in there. It's like you go in there and to get out, it's like they could keep you in there indefinitely if they say like, oh, he's crazy or she's crazy.
Oh yeah,
you know?
for sure.
It's kind of weird. And if you have nobody advocating for you and stuff like that, that's where shit could be fucking nuts, man.
Oh, big time. What do you got here, Bobby? Looking at Reuters.
This is Ukraine and how far these missiles can reach into Ukraine, supposedly.
Oh, and is it Russia, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That they have and I had this what Putin was saying. I had this too. Elon Musk is posting about remember that one time in the 80s and 90s when people died from AIDS treatment, ACT. Musk is
that was all
posting a lot of true stuff he's posting.
Bobby, can you go back to that map
thing.
you were showing from the Ukraine into Russia? What was it? The red line that they were showing that how far the
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
right there. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And then our sitting fucking dead president basically is just like, oh yeah, go ahead. Let's fire him in there before I get out of office.
That is so strange. Like when the new
irresponsible.
It is like the new president is voted in, and this guy is pushing an agenda that nobody wants and could possibly spark World War III. And he's just sitting there smiling, welcoming Trump into the office. Like it's fucking freaky, man. Like that guy
it is
it's out
crazy.
now. He wasn't fit to run for another 4 years. Therefore, he's not fit to be in that office. Period.
Exactly. Yes.
Don't know how to say clearer than that. And the fact that they're allowing him to still remain there after, knowing he's not fit to run is insane. Makes no sense at all.
But then you just get Kamala anyway, and she's just going to do the same fucking thing.
That's true. Yeah. So it's like you're fucked either way.
So we'll be lucky if we get
Warhawks.
We'll be lucky if we get to January 20th without fucking nuclear war.
Hopefully not. And they're trying to say that they want to block, trying to make him president too. They're trying to do that.
They're trying to do what?
Trying to block
Trump
making his
how they
his
doing
president.
So he could say that the election was stolen in 2020, and they're trying to actually physically figure out ways to have him not take office when he was
of course,
voted
because they're saving democracy.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
He got the popular vote and the whole electoral college. You are not saving democracy if you try to keep him from being the president. That's not saving democracy.
It's obvious that's why they're trying to ramp this Russia thing up too, because they want to try to prevent him from even getting sworn in.
Yeah, but what would prevent if World War III started? That's still not going to stop him from taking office. I mean,
no, it wouldn't. No. Russia just threatened imminent nuclear war after NATO launches bombing campaign inside Russia.
Fucking Christ.
I mean, Putin said this a long time ago. If you send any Western missiles into my country, consider that an act of war from those countries. You can't be any clearer than that. If you send a British missile over here, a U.S. missile, we're considering it like
This whole war could have been avoided.
Yep, by a phone
The
call,
whole
Chad.
fucking thing.
By talking.
Right.
Crazy.
And yeah, that's it. Yeah, Biden doesn't reach out to any world leaders. He doesn't reach out to anybody. He doesn't fucking talk to anybody. He's never talked to Putin.
Nope.
And
Nope.
and then the left's literally like, if Trump says he wants to talk to Putin, they're like, he's a Russian asset. He's a Russian asset. It's like, no, motherfucker. This is how you do diplomacy. It's called diplomacy. That's how you stop wars from happening, is talk to the other side.
Yes. Lay out all the reasons why this is bad, why this doesn't make sense. What the fuck, man? How can
Well,
you...
they wanted this for their money laundering. That's all they give a fuck about.
Yeah, I understand.
It's not about saving Ukraine. It's not about Russia.
No.
It's about money. It's about money that they're getting paid from their fucking cronies in the goddamn military industrial complex.
All the
Yep.
money in the world
absolutely
gets
right.
burned up when nuclear war happens and fucking...
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
You could
nuclear
have-
exchange, people have no fucking idea what a nuclear exchange would look like and how that would affect their life.
It's crazy.
I mean,
People can't even watch Fallout if you want to see what
Yeah.
Is that the video game movie?
they just have no concept of it.
Yeah, they turned it into a Netflix show or Amazon or Netflix, one of them. Pretty good show.
One of the streamers.
Oh, Fallout. Oh, yeah, the game. Yeah, I play that game too. It's a fucking great game.
Yeah.
I just hope that fucking, because there's such a like we're at the precipice. We got rid of all the negative agendas and all that shit, and we're at the point where the world could start turning, and like, just it's this close that it could be all taken away in a fucking.
And the
blink of
left
an eye.
literally will fucking put their stick a wrench in it just to get back at Trump.
Yeah.
Like they'll literally risk destroying the world so that they can get back at Trump.
And I just want to hammer the point that we're saying the left now because it's the left now that's done it, but the right has done it before, like in 2001, getting us into wars that we didn't want to be into.
Absolutely.
The right side doing that. So it's
the neocons were fucking war hawks, and then they all endorsed Kamala in this fucking race.
right. So it
The
just
war hawks endorsed the Democrats, and the left's like, yeah, we got Dick Cheney. It's like, wait a minute, motherfuckers, you hated him.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hated him because he was getting us in all these wars, and now you're cheering for him because he fucking liked your candidate. Like, you should be going, what the fuck is wrong with our party if the warhawks, the neocons, are endorsing our candidate?
And I don't think we got to speak about it, but Chad and I were speaking before the podcast about Afghanistan being fucking like a country of pedophiles where the men are constantly raping the male children, and then they grow up and start raping the children and stuff, and it's a vicious cycle. I had no idea that stuff was going on because they're so against gay acts in what they do. That's the fucking gayest in the world.
That's like any ultra religious shit. Any ultra religious shit, they're like, oh no, gays are down with the gays, and then all of a sudden that person that's ultra religious is saying that, and they're fucking gay. You know what I mean? It's like
they're doing it. Yeah, exactly.
But like, just if you think about that society, man, their women have to be covered up head to toe. Just their eyeballs could fucking show light. And then their children are being fucking raped by these.
Well, that's why they're having sex with kids, because women are only left for breeding, for procreation. That's it.
Right, but so you could justify fucking a little boy in his ass, but you can't justify fucking a woman for not procreating. Like, come the fuck on, bro.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
It's called insanity.
That's the left too. They're tribal to the point where pedophilia is all right. Yeah, let's call them MAPS. Let's change their name because sexual attraction. Okay, yeah, great.
That's when I start breaking exterminator stick and fucking going ham. Go ahead, Bobby.
This is how fast we're adding debt. So in the past 221 years, the total debt reached $12 trillion. The U.S. has added 12 trillion in debt since 2020.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, that's saying we're only 34 trillion in debt. I heard we're like $36 trillion in debt.
Yeah, I think it's about 36. Yeah.
So maybe from
Unbelievable.
2020 to whenever they had that study, and then now to then they added another
Now they're
12 trillion.
Yeah, and
Another
now,
2 trillion.
of course, the
Yeah.
left is now freaking out against fucking Elon and Vivek coming in and having the government accountability office, and the left's freaking out about that. It's like
As
at
they
some
should.
point we are going to have to cut spending. Okay.
Right.
That's the best thing that they can do. It is.
And
the
there
best
is
thing.
a ton of waste in our government. A ton of waste in our government. The
Yep.
goddamn DOD just failed its 7th audit. They can't account for $824 billion.
Yeah, I was just reading that. Yep.
I understand if you
There
need
needs to be accountability. Like it has to start somewhere. And here
Yes.
we are.
right. You can't have $36 trillion unaccounted for. Like you could have some black market things that we don't fucking need to know about, and that's unaccounted for. But you cannot have this much
Right.
fucking crazy and not over, no oversight going on. And that's what they're scared of, is that their fucking evil, shitty agenda could be exposed and fucking,
Mhm.
the chickens are coming home to roost, people, and we're
Yeah.
fucking tired of it. And
The actual adults are back in the room, like the real.
Exactly.
Yeah,
fucking
people are
adults.
actually waking up, and it's about time.
That was the Biden's whole thing. Well, the adults are back in the room. Oh yeah, what did the adults do in these last 4 years?
yeah, you're too adult, Biden. You're shitting your pants and falling down walking.
Yeah,
We don't want
exactly.
geriatric adults in the
Oh
room.
my
We want
God, the
any-
gaslighting is just hilarious.
yeah, man. We have
All right.
anything for the gracious audience, Bobbay? You want to say hello,
Listen,
goodbye?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for keep
Yeah.
watching it. I've been interacting with some people online about the show,
Cool.
and nothing but good words.
Yeah. Well, everyone keeps
Good.
spreading the word and follow,
And
like.
I also wanted to say, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead,
also
Bonnie.
wanted to say, about Chad. Like it's amazing. Like John called me like a year and a half ago, and he's like, I'm thinking about putting a podcast together, and all of a sudden, like here we are a year and a half later, and it's like we've been doing it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you for coming along for the
Definitely
ride,
is.
Bobby.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys out there listening. You're what makes
Absolutely.
the show go around. And let's keep it going, peeps. Thank you. Gracious Tuesday. Barry, you're awesome.
Peace, everybody. Later.